For this lesson, I will reopen the invoice I created in a previous tutorial and will apply two payments to that invoice. I have my data file open to the Transactions module, and I will begin the process of entering a payment by clicking the New button on the toolbar. The Add New Transaction window will open, displaying the options of the module. Selecting Receiving a Payment is the next step. This will display the Contact Selection window. Here you select the contact from which you are receiving the payment and click the Received From button. A receipt window will display, listing all open invoices for this contact. The contact Bill Aaron has only one open invoice in my database, and that is what we see listed here. Click in the Received column on the row of the listed invoice you wish to apply the payment to enter the payment amount. For this tutorial, I will enter payments in two parts to demonstrate the functionality of the transaction. Notice the value in the balance column will be reduced by the amount of the payment applied. Pro will display the open balance of the invoice until the full amount due has been entered, and Pro does not limit the number of payments that can be applied to any invoice. There is the option to enter the payment method in the user-defined drop-down list, as well as entering a reference number of the payment. On the lower portion of the payment transaction, there are the optional fields to enter the designation of the preparer and the authorization of the transaction. At the center of the transaction, there is a Notes section to document information regarding the payment. Clicking on the Notes button opens a field for your text entries. These notes do not print out on the client receipt, but they do stay with the payment transaction. To print the payment receipt, click back on the Invoice button. Then click the Document drop-down arrow located on the main toolbar. Select Cash Receipt, and the document will open in Microsoft Word. Pro will remain open in the background. View your document and make any edits you need. You can print from Microsoft Word. If you have not made any adjustments, click the Close Document button on the Reports and Documents toolbar. If you have made any changes, click the Exit Save button. Your adjusted document will be saved with the receipt transaction in Pro. The Save Document window will open with the receipt name listed. Enter a brief description and click OK. You will be returned to the Transaction window, and your document will be saved with the receipt transaction. Save your work, clicking Yes to the prompt to save your changes. Your receipt will display in the spreadsheet view. To enter a second payment, just repeat the process, beginning by clicking the New button on the main toolbar. To apply multiple payments to a particular invoice, you will need to create a new payment receipt for each entry. If a contact has many open invoices, you can enter payments for each open invoice on the receipt transaction by entering the received values in the corresponding row of the invoice. I'm entering a second payment on the original invoice, clicking the contact name, and going forward with the transaction process. On this new receipt, the first payment of $4,000 is displayed as a credit and an open balance of the remaining value. Enter the amount received and any other options necessary and save your work. Once full payment has been received and entered into the database, the balance will display as 0. Complete the form as before with the optional fields and then save your work. Once you close the receipt transaction form, you will see both receipts listed in the spreadsheet view. That concludes this tutorial. I hope you found it informative. This is Michelle, signing off for now. Thank you for visiting our Art Systems video series. For more tutorials, please visit our website www.artsystems.com/tutorial.